TIFU by thinking the quarantine would only last 3 weeks. Obligatory. This happened several months ago, as we've been in quarantine for months. So during the beginning of year, I was staying in dorms at my university. Now, because of financial constraints, the university I went to is in the Midwest, while I myself live on the East Coast. Somehow the tuition was lower out of state. News of COVID beginning to spread hit, and I was one of those "it's just a flu, don't worry" people. Well, that wasn't true. The university announced it would be shutting down the campus for 3 weeks and all classes would be virtual during that time. Stupid old me thought, wow, a 3-week vacation, quote. So I booked a flight back home and made the decision to leave all my belongings back at my dorm, expecting to be right back in less than a month. Now, here's the thing. For a while, I had an infected ingrown toenail that was really bothering me, and I was looking to get it surgically removed. I decided to get the surgery back at home as the state the university was in didn't accept my healthcare. So, I got the surgery and got that toenail removed. I had my big toe tightly bound by a bandage and I was reduced to a limp everywhere. But I thought to myself, good thing I have 3 weeks to recover, haha. Welp. The next day I get an email from campus stating that they're shutting down the school for the rest of the semester, including the residence halls. Meaning that everything left behind in those halls would get thrown away. Meaning that the suitcase worth of clothing and all the things I purchased for my dorm that semester would get thrown out. I panicked. Couldn't possibly get any worse. Right. The same day, Mayor announces that all airports would no longer be allowing departures or arrivals until the quarantine ended. This rule would go into effect in 2 days, which meant that the only chance I had of saving everything I owned was flying back and getting it myself before it was too late. Keep in mind that I was still recovering from my surgery. So that very night, I bought tickets for a round-trip flight to and from my campus. Flights were especially cheap now, so I guess there's one good thing about my experience. The next day, I got my parents to drive me out to the airport. I assured them I'd be fine and that I'd see them that very night. And man, let me tell you, the experience was much worse than I anticipated. To note, the airport was completely empty. Normally it was filled to the brim with people, but now I could count everyone inside with one hand. This made things faster for me, but it has the whole apocalypse vibe. Everything was fine at first until the layover. Of course, I happened to be the lucky person with only 15 minutes to get from one end of the airport to the other due to delays, in what is probably the longest airport I've ever been to. There I was, urgently carrying a suitcase with me as I limped my way to the next gate. It fucking hurt, of course, but I didn't have any other choices. It didn't get any better. Arriving to my destination, I had to find a cab driver. After explaining that I needed him to drive me to the dorm, wait until I packed my things, then drive me back to the airport. He told me the price would be about $80. I really couldn't be a chooser right now, so I had to take it. I really didn't think it could get any worse, but I guess God really had it out for me that day. See, I live on the 8th floor of my dorm, and for whatever reason, they decided to disable the elevators that day. So I had to limp my way up 8 floors, pack 2 suitcases with everything I could, and then bring said suitcases all the way down the stairs. I was basically crawling by the time I got up, and the way down was even worse. I wasn't able to fit everything. Unfortunately, among the losses were 2 pillows, an LED cactus lamp, my Halloween costume, a full-sized mirror, and a box of goodies my friend left for me. Gone, but not forgotten. The way back wasn't any different. Smooth flight, limp across the airport, and fly again. I successfully managed to retrieve most of my stuff, and rewarded myself with a well-deserved pasta. Did I mention that I didn't eat anything the entire day? TLDR. Thinking the quarantine would only last 3 weeks, I flew back home from my university and got surgery done on my foot, only to have to fly back and manually retrieve all my stuff or else it would be thrown out. That's kinda messed up, tossing everything out of the dorm. Until the layover, of course. I happened to be the lucky person with only 15 minutes to get from one end of the airport to the other due to delays. If you indicate to the flight attendants that you have walking problems and are not sure if you are going to make it with the extra delays, they can discuss things with the airport before the plane lands and make special situations that can help you, like giving you a faster route, potentially those staff-only areas. The route shown on the signs isn't always the fastest, as the fastest route is not always suited for the large amount of traffic. Sending out a person to help you with the luggage, sending out a person with a wheelchair to push you faster than you can walk, making sure you onboard the plane first. This was very anticlimactic but still great read. Have an upvote. Ha 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 ha, that's awesome. I'm sorry you went through that. And I'm sorry, not sorry, for laughing, but boy did this tickle me. Sounds like the time my fiancé and I got a 7 a.m. flight. Had to leave at 5 a.m. to get his current car. The flight was 1 hour and the drive back was 8 hours. That was one hell of a day. RIP LED cactus lamp. Must be really hard on you. I'm sorry you went through that, but LMAO, same. Except I couldn't go back to my dorm room, so I had to repurchase some of my clothing and cosmetics. I ended up carrying 4 huge boxes filled up with my stuff all the way to a friend's home months later. Last month. 4th floor. Got lucky. No elevators. I had to call a friend to carry the heavy stuff on stairs. I'm proud of you for fighting for your stuff alone in an apocalyptic airport with a hurting toe. Kudos to that shrewd cab driver. Did you not email, call them to double check if they could get someone to collect it, etc.? What did you have in there that was more valuable than $80 plus the cost of even cheap round-trip airfare? You had no friends that could have grabbed your stuff for you.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.